where our users are, and we want to provide the way that they want to use their content in their workflow. So tomorrow, if there is a new solution developed, X solution, then we are going to be there too. So any new technology that is being developed that is going to help the user consume our content, remix the content, and then create more value on top of our content, we are going to be there. So I don't want to make any prediction because I don't know what's going to come next.
Yeah. So I've heard API strategies described as sort of three ways. The simplest and closest to home is I just connect an API to allow my existing customers to pull my content into their workflow. And then maybe the next step out is I give people more of a preview of certain pieces of content, and then I charge them for something above that. And then a third one is more, I actually open it up and allow third parties to develop on top of my platform to create entirely new products that either I wouldn't create on my own or I couldn't create on my own. Have you guys, as you all have wrestled with this topic, how do you think about how far to go? And what are the concerns that come up when you think about how far should I take my company in this?
Well, I'm very happy to make predictions. As people know, I'm always certain and sometimes right. So I'm happy to talk about what I see. The legal information market has been a market where a lot of these things that you're talking about have been table stakes for a while. The ability to bring into the workflow our content, whether it be Bloomberg Law or whether it be our competitors, that's always been sort of table stakes, and sort of the comprehensiveness of the data that we bring and the quality of the data that we bring has always been sort of table stakes. I think and to see how sort of our quote API strategy diverges over the next 5 years, what I see is it's not really about the content and about those things where we've already moved. It's really about things like usability. How easy can you get to the content? And relevancy. I mean, I think for the professional users, the relevancy and us being able to deliver up the relevant content rather than just lots of content is sort of the number one thing that our customers are asking for, and the linkages between that content. So I mean, I think from a product standpoint, it's really about the user experience and about the ability between search and GUIness, user interface, just getting at those pieces. I think the one thing that customers have been asking for in our marketplace is pricing, because historically, the pricing in our marketplace has been very confusing. Hundreds of pages, lots of excluded databases. So how we're different and how B-Law differentiates itself in the marketplace is really our ability to deliver up for one set fixed price, all of our databases, all of the usage you want, and same sort of general format that the core product at Bloomberg has had for 30 years. So I mean, I think it's a different pricing model, and we want to deliver it up, and we feel we're the distributor and we're the best distributor of our products.
Yeah, I think Lou made the key word there at the end is distributor. And there's kind of an evolution of API distribution that is a good test for all your companies, and that is kind of the following four. One is, as Lou mentioned, what is the quality of your data? If you have a strong belief that the quality of your data and content is a competitive advantage, you should be thinking about providing an API that's that premium layer. The second one is uniqueness. How unique are you in that market? If we take an emerging platform like Clout, Clout does not have the data assets or the content as any one of my colleagues' companies here. But what Clout does have is a very unique data set, building their entire business model on APIs. Because the more that other companies pull that data and build new services on top of Clout scores, the quicker their company grows. And the third one, I think, is where a lot of large companies are most challenged from our experience is ease of APIs. The speed and ease with which a third party can access your APIs whether it's a customer of Bloomberg or a partner of Elsevier, that third party has to have the terms of use, the access, the facility to consume your API in a self-service mode. They shouldn't need to call your general counsel. They shouldn't have to have a long, elaborate discussion with your IT department. It should be as self-serve, getting access to your data. What data are you selling me? At what price? At what volume? And I, as a partner or a customer, will distribute on your behalf your content. And that's quite a transition for larger companies. And I think these two companies here are getting that.
See, I guess maybe I'm really missing the point here, but I worked for this company that some of you may have heard of for about 20 years called LexisNexis. And instead of it being an API, called an API, what we did was we dealt with most of the people in this room and their content and put it on our service and paid them for it. So rather, and I'm not a technology guy. First, I'm unfortunately a lawyer by background, so I always say I'm a recovering lawyer. But what's the difference between the aggregator model that someone like LexisNexis or Bloomberg or Thomson Reuters has and an API model? Is it the same thing, only with different technology?
No, it's a great question.
Yeah, you are more expert on this, but the way that I see is completely different. With any platform that is not open, you won't be able, people coming to your platform, either LexisNexis or Thomson Reuters or Bloomberg, no one can build on top of your platform. And that's, in my view, today, for any publisher, the future is to let the customers come to your platform, build on top of your platform. And if you look at today what's happening on the web, the most successful companies, including Facebook, Google, Twitter, what they have figured out, how they can bring their customers and build on top of their platform. Today, if you are not offering anything, if your platform is not open, the future is going to be very difficult. And I think if, as a publishers, we are not putting APIs in our DNA, we are missing the boat. Two things that I want to touch, mentioned about the open word is being the four-letter word. One thing that everyone should understand that when they are moving to API, and when they are saying that we have open API, they need to make sure that open doesn't mean free. That's the key. Open platform also doesn't mean it's a free platform that you can use anything that we have in the content. The second point is on the branding. With the API, you can create a brand that people is going to take your brand and then disseminate that brand wherever they want. And that's another power that the API is bringing to the field, the way that I see. Because people who are going to build new applications on top of your content, they are going to distribute that, channel that to their own market, and then your brand, either Bloomberg, LexisNexis, Thomson, or Elsevier brand, is going to be within that. A good example of that is if you look at what Guardian is doing in UK, they are just creating this Guardian brand in their API. Again, API is also crucial for the publishers to expose their brand within the community.
So Lou, I mean, to your question,